It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it is, well. There we are. That's what happens when you push the wrong button. That's my control room. It's okay. It is Geno Jones Showtime. What's happening, everybody? I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago. It's 3:30 out on the West Coast, out in Los Angeles, up in San Francisco, up in Portland, Oregon, or Seattle. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. You and everybody you know and don't know, everybody that you like, that you love, even folks you're not that crazy about, folks you can't stand, folks you hate, strangers, aliens from outer space. Tell them all to check out the Geno Jones Show live. And if you miss it live, shame on you. What you doing? How'd you miss it? But okay, I got you. You can always just go to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. It is there for you, and you, 24/7, 365 days. And on a leap year, that's 366 and a half days, if you feel me, all right? I want to welcome everybody to the show. First of all, let me shout out my Sagittariuses. Tomorrow's a very special Sagittarius birthday, but we will talk about that tomorrow. But today, happy birthday on December 14th to an actor. Brother that's been around for a long time doing his thing. Brother, you've seen him, he's had a thick mustache. Haven't seen him in a minute. Happy 88th birthday to Hal Williams. Okay, you're saying, okay, who's Hal Williams, G? Okay, how many of you all were fans like me of the show 227? You have Marla Gibbs, you have Regina King, Marla Gibbs. So Marla Gibbs, her husband on the show, that's Hal Williams, that brother right there. Also, if you're a fan of Sanford and Son, who isn't? Way back in the 70s, checking it out on rerun. You can still watch it on reruns right now. So the dude that played Officer Smitty, that's Hal Williams. He is 88 today. Rapper, my man Offset from the Migos and Cardi B's husband. Offset is 31 today, also 31 today. Rapper and singer over from England, Stefflon Don. Miss Stefflon Don, she is 31 today. All my Sagittarius celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday. Hey, if you're watching me live, by the way, shout out to all my new viewers. And I just want to thank everybody. Shout out YouTube. So they sent me an email. They send me an email every year. Around this time of December to say, hey, listen, this is the Geno Jones Show in 2022. Do you know that you've had, well, it's because of you all. The Geno Jones Show has had nearly 40,000 minutes of the show watched this year. And it's not even over yet. We still got, another 3 weeks? So nearly 40,000 minutes of this show watched, nearly 13,000 total views. So the Geno Jones Show, either live or anybody that's seen it, like who didn't watch it live, but you went back and watched it, or you binge watched all the episodes, nearly 13,000 total views of the Geno Jones Show, and over 12,000 people, they have live streamed the show this year like you're doing right now. If you're watching me live, I want to thank you. You had a lot of company this year. About almost 12,500 live stream views already in 2022. So I really appreciate that, everybody. So I got some, I just got to just say it, just tell it like it is. And, but hopefully, and you've probably heard the news. Hopefully there's something that we can take from this in a positive manner. If you are a fan of the brother named Twitch, a DJ Twitch, and we all are. You seen him? He was Ellen DeGeneres' DJ on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He's also a star on the show. So You Think You Could Dance. So he was a dancer, choreographer, DJ, and actor. He apparently, according to the Los Angeles Police Department, the brother committed suicide. I guess sometime between today, I don't know if it was late last night or whatever, but he's dead. Apparently, suicide, a gunshot wound, self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was only 40 years old, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. So apparently, he left home, and he didn't take his car. So his wife, and rest in peace, power in paradise to his wife and his 3 kids that he's left behind. So his wife, immediately, she went to the police department. The police station is, I guess, closest to their neighborhood, and said, something is wrong. My husband just up and left the house, and he left his car. And she said, that's not like him. Then later on, the police hear that they got a report of shootings or hearing gunshots in a hotel room in a hotel in Los Angeles. And then I guess they get to the room, they see a person dead, an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, and then he realized once they ID'd the person, it was Twitch, or DJ Twitch. His actual name is Stephen Boss. Stephen Twitch, or DJ Twitch. Only 40. You never know what a person is going through. You look at somebody like Twitch, famous, always was positive, always had a smile. But, like I said, there's a song by the Undisputed Truth from way back in, like, the 70s, I believe. Smiling faces, sometimes they lie. Or, like, I think the first verse was like, smiling faces, they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. And that's so true. People cover up a lot. They put on a happy face, a good facade. They want to be there. They want to be positive for their family, their friends, their fans, their co-workers. And you just never know what a person is going through. And the holidays, this time of year, is really one of the worst times of the year, if not the worst, in terms of anxiety, depression, suicide, because you have people who have just the pressure of trying to make Christmas perfect for your family and your friends, the financial pressure, the pressure that that family members can put on you, or others can put on you. If you've lost a loved one, if you've lost a parent or a spouse or a sibling or a child, then that can trigger memories that can put you in a real dark place. And the holidays can be very tough. And you just never know what a person is going through. So I reached out to a friend of mine who's a therapist. Shout out to Tanel Jones, just trying to get some guidance and some direction. She's been a guest on the show, and you will see a lot of her because I want to, I'm going to I always focus on physical health, but I want to focus on, and I've done it, focus on mental health, because we all have to do better, including myself. We have to make our mental health a priority, because your mental health affects everything. And there's a straight line, a direct connection from the anxiety, depression, and your mental health, or your lack thereof, your mental state, and how your mental health can directly affect your physical health. Because stress literally can kill you. And things like anxiety and depression, all of that really, which is anxiety and depression, are really two sides of the same coin. Absolutely, stress can absolutely kill you physically. It can trigger and cause a lot of physical problems. It can a lot of autoimmune diseases, and eczema can flare up. Stress shows up. It can show up in your organs. The anxiety and nervousness in your stomach, in your just nervous system. I'm not a doctor, but I've talked to enough people, enough professionals to understand. And just living, stress affects you physically, and you feel it, and you know it. So when I was talking to Tanel, she said, just the one thing you can do is just not be afraid and get some professional help. And there's no shame in that. Now, I don't know whether Twitch, I don't know if he had seen a therapist. I don't know if he was, talking to anybody or not. I don't know that. I'm not implying, but just in general. And especially, everything we went through from COVID and just all the hatred, the amplification of racism and the anti-blackness, anti-Semitism, the homophobia, the the religious bigotry, the misogyny, the sexism, which is like on steroids for a whole lot of reasons. And you all, if you watch this show, you know, is a major contributor to that. All of that, you're worried about your family and your kids. It's a lot. We're really living through some challenging times. So my friend Tanel just said, just don't be afraid to get help. And I know in our community, as black people in America and black people all across the world, the African diaspora, but especially here in America, for years there's been like the stigma. Oh man, you don't go see nobody. I ain't crazy. I ain't going to see no shrink. I ain't going to see no therapist or no doctor, which has probably that's been some of the worst advice that we have somehow internalized and kind of spread throughout our culture for years, for decades. And then when you add this twisted form of masculinity in some cases, especially black men, or if you're just dealing with something, if you seek professional help, then somehow you're soft, you're weak, you're a punk, you're a sissy, you're less than a man. And then I have family in the military, and they've told me that for years, I think it's gotten a little better now, but I know for years, 70s and 80s, probably the 90s, especially like the 70s, 80s, seeking therapy could affect your career in a negative way. That it was not encouraged at all. It was frowned upon, actually. This is not my opinion. This is what I've been taught to family members who made a career of being in the military, in the Marines, in the Army, spent over 2 decades, family members who were in the military that said, no, listen, if you're dealing with something, you just don't talk about it, which is the most unhealthy thing you can do. So there's no shame in saying, hey, listen, you know what, I need to talk to somebody. There's no shame of it at all. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know, I never met Twitch, so I don't know if he was seeking professional help or not. But I can't even imagine being a parent, even though I have 2 adult daughters. But I can't imagine being in such a dark place that I would commit suicide and leave behind 3 babies, 3 young children, and a wife. Just think about how dark of a place that this brother had to be in, and how it is so unfortunate that for whatever reason, apparently he didn't feel that there was anybody that he could talk to that could literally save him from himself and just kind of just talk him down and talk him back a little bit and be like, hey man, listen, whatever it is, look, I'm coming, I'll come get you. I'll just listen. Look, we'll get suicide hotline. Let's Google suicide hotline prevention. And if there's anybody in a dark place like that, especially this time of the year, you can just Google suicide prevention. And also we got to, and I know it can be so hard to do. Some people make it so hard for you to extend grace, to give them grace. But just collectively as humans, man, we've got to give each other more grace and have a level of humanity and empathy and patience and try to see ourselves in other people and understand, we got people who are angry and bitter for a lot of different reasons, and that anger and bitterness and envy and jealousy and insecurity, it acts out. It's like a child acting out. It will display itself, or as some people would say, manifest itself in a lot of different ways. People medicate. They self-medicate through alcohol and drug use, gambling, sex, violence. Looking at the situation, shout out to Meg the Stallion, the rapper Meg the Stallion. Out in Los Angeles, there's a trial. This guy she was dating at a time, there was rapper Tory Lanez. According to trial started yesterday, and according to like one of the eyewitnesses, she said that she saw Tory Lanez shoot Meg the Stallion in her feet, and Meg the Stallion had to have surgery. And Meg the Stallion initially, she didn't tell the police that she was shot. And according to Meg, the reason she didn't do it because she didn't trust the police, and she was afraid to tell the police that this man that she had dated, they'd had a physical relationship, shot her. She didn't trust that they wouldn't shoot her or him. So she admitted she initially lied, and then she took a lot of grief for that. But the bottom line is, and I've said this so many times, the most disrespected, unprotected, neglected person, not just in America, but on the planet, is a black woman. And we as black men, we gotta definitely change that up. Because if we don't protect black women, ain't nobody else gonna do it. It's just that's plain and simple. We have to do it. Absolutely, positively. That's the least that we could do, is to make sure that we protect, respect, and not neglect black women collectively. So, but I just want to circle back to, and like I said, violence, a lot of the trauma and the mental illness, or just the trauma that affects our mental health, it will display itself in anger. And a lot of times we take the anger out on the person who's closest to us, who we feel has less power than we do physically or financially, which is just totally ass backwards and wrong. So don't be afraid to talk to somebody. And no, talking to somebody is not a sign of weakness. To the men watching me, to the brothers out there, you're not a punk, you're not soft. As a matter of fact, it takes courage and strength to admit, hey, you know what? I'm dealing with some stuff, and I want to get better. If you were having a pain in your chest or your stomach or your leg, or if you get the flu or you couldn't breathe, you would go to the doctor without hesitation. But if you are just dealing with anxiety to where you can't sleep, I mean, it's affecting your sleep, you're depressed, you just feel nervous, tightness in your stomach, your heart is beating fast or racing, your mind, you're having just some really negative thoughts. Man, talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. And yes, we got to make sure we really are brothers and sisters keeper. We got to really check on each other. Like, no, when we say, how you doing? Don't make it like a throwaway line like, hey, how you doing? No, how are you really doing? No, like how are you? What kind of mental space are you in? How are you feeling physically, mentally? Are you good? No, are you? And if you're not, if you want to talk about it, great. And if you don't, Don't talk to me, but just talk to somebody that can help you. We have to have those conversations with the people that we love. And just, our friends, with each other, just even, it could be a neighbor. Who knows? It might have been, and I can only imagine what Twitch's wife must feel like. Because I can only imagine if something like that happened to me with my spouse or with Damaris. Oh God, it would haunt me forever, living with that. I would really need some help just to deal with living with what did I miss? How did I not see that she was in such a dark place? And I know there's some people who they don't want to be a burden to their family, and especially if you're trying to be the Superman or Superwoman. Trust me, I know what that's like. It's been the story of my life, and my mother, who's watching me now, would tell you that. She would tell you, Jeannie's been the little man of the house. I've been trying to protect people since I was 4 and a half. Fighting a grown man about my mother. You've heard me talk about that many times. I digress. So I know what it's like to feel like that, you got to put the cape on. You want to make sure that you protect and provide for the people you love. But there's a saying, who takes care of the caregiver? Folks that are the caregivers, they need a caregiver. Because some people just, they give. I've seen it with my mother. God knows my grandmother. I still say my grandmother would have lived. She may still be alive. I think she was in her late 70s. And my grandmother could have easily saw 90 plus. My grandfather, her husband lived to be 94. And had he believed in going to the doctor, he would have easily saw 100. My grandmother would have lived easily another 20 years. But she was always taking care of everybody else and giving to everybody, including total strangers, literally taking strangers, families, a woman and 3 children, literally opening the door to her home and making sure they had shelter and food and not have to come up with a penny for over 2 years. Who does that now? But she gave so much of herself to everybody. She neglected herself and her health. And her health ultimately paid the price not because she wanted to, but it was her nature to always try to take care of everybody else. She would always put herself second or last. If she saw somebody that was in need, that she felt that was in a worse situation than she was. So, but I can only imagine what Twitch's wife must feel like. It's like, oh my God, this man that she loves, that she has 3 children with, and he was in such a dark place and she didn't see it. Obviously, she didn't see that it was that bad, that he was in that dark of a place. Because I guarantee you, she would have done whatever she could have done to save his life. He's got 3 kids. She's got 3 kids. I'm sure love their dad. And that she's got to make this make sense. Not just to herself, but for these 3 young kids. So that would just haunt me. How do you even live with that guilt? Because it's at some level, you're just human. And if somebody you love takes their life, you're going to ask yourself, what did I miss? What could I have done to prevent this? Oh my God. So we got to take care of your mental health. Take care of your mental health like you take care of your car. Whatever it is, we got things like, people, like guys, and a lot of guys, we love cars. But we'll take care of that car, we'll get it detailed, and you can't even, don't eat no food in it, and don't smoke, don't do anything. Whatever it is, back in the day, like our parents, our grandparents, they had rooms where, like, they had furniture. It was like a like a shrine, like a museum. They'd have couches and chairs, like some new furniture, and they would still have the plastic on it. And you couldn't go in there, you couldn't sit on. No, you can't sit on it, even though it's a couch and it's got plastic on it, and the plastic's been on it for like 20 years, but can't sit on it, and you can't go in that room. You can't eat it, just stay out of there. Let's take care of our health, our physical and mental health, like some of us take care of our cars. Or whatever it is that you treasure. Treasure yourself. Treasure life. All right, I want to shout at everybody. Man, so many folks checking in, watching me live. I appreciate it. In the chat room, my man Groove Master Dre. Shout out to you, to my mother, Mary Dixon, my #1 fan, who's got a very special day coming up tomorrow. So I'll tell you all about that. And thank you to everybody with your comments. Anybody else watching me live, all my new viewers, new fans, and if you've been around, if you're not an old fan, but if you've been riding with your man from day 1 or day 20 or day 100, feel free to jump in and join the conversation. My live chat room is open when I'm on camera. I'll shout you out. I'll answer your question. We can have a conversation right on camera. But I want to thank everybody. Yeah, because you can't thank you, my buddy Groove Master Dre, and I've said it a lot. You can't take care of anybody else until you take care of yourself. I can't help anybody in my family. I can't be there for my mother or Damaris or Boogie or Allie or my friends who are family to me. I can't help them. I can't take care of them if I'm not healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You can't take care of anybody else if you can't take care of yourself. So, if you want to help people, you want to continue to be Superman or Superwoman, which I don't advise that. You know, even Superman had kryptonite. But you do what you have to do. But you still have to shut it down. Because you can't help anybody else until you can help yourself. You can't take care of anybody else unless you first make sure you take care of yourself. Thank you for watching, everybody. God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday. Quick programming note. So next Tuesday is it'll be the last live show of 2022. And then I will come back. My first live show in 2023 is going to be on January 3rd, which is a Tuesday. However, don't worry. The best of the Geno Jones Show, you can binge watch all my back episodes over the last 2 years. Do that. And then I might do a little like pop up, pop in, little short 5-10 minute. Hey, I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Here I am live. The Geno Jones Show, just live here long enough to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. I might do that. But the next, after next Tuesday, the next official full-length live show is going to be on Tuesday, January 3rd. But don't worry, it's me and you. We're going to rock it out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to finish this year out strong, and we're going to have a lot of fun. This information and news about Twitch came across today, and I thought it would be a great opportunity just to talk about how we have to take care of ourselves, but we got to take care of each other. We really do. And we really got to deal with our mental health. Because if we could address that, we could address so many, our physical health would improve. We could reduce, if not completely eliminate, the anxiety, the depression, the stress, and all the things that are connected to it, the domestic violence, the alcohol and drug abuse, sexual addiction, the gambling, and just all the other things. And then all the physical things that stress can trigger in our bodies. All of it can make it worse. Affects all of our organs. It does. Don't take my word for it. Talk to a doctor. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek, South Carolina. That is part of the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. He is on Instagram. Kel be cutting up because Kel be cutting his ass off, as you can see. The Drip Director, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist. You see the drip is always dripping. That's your style, fashion. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. She's on Instagram. It's lx.ncl underscores that dash. That little line, that little dash below. So it's L like Lexi, X like extra, dot, N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscore, the little dash down at the bottom. Also, Bruce Cage, official wardrobe consultant and also stylist for the Geno Jones Show, the Mario Cuomo collection. As a matter of fact, bam, right there. Can you probably can't see it that good. There you go. See that? Mario Cuomo. The Mario Cuomo collection. Also his fly ball collection. One of the few officially licensed Negro Baseball League apparel line gear, sweaters, jackets, ties, and a lot more. You can check it all out on Instagram. Bruce Gage, Miglio di Mario Cuomo, MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. So that's MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Take care of yourself. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your mental health. And make sure that we take care of each other. Take care of yourself first so you can take care of everybody else. Thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Twitch.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.